Hey guys, what's going on? Paul Richards here with PTZOptics, and today we're doing a compatibility video on the Roland V1SDI and the Roland V1 HDMI. We're going to take you through all the features and the compatibility with our PTZOptics cameras. By the way, thank you so much, Broadfield Distribution, for sending us these units for our review video. Let's get to it. Today we are testing out the compact and portable Roland V1HD and V1SDI 4-channel video mixers with PTZOptics pan, tilt, and zoom cameras. These Roland video mixers are ideal for live video production, with their ability to mix multiple video sources, provide live multi-view video outputs, and output the entire video production at resolutions at up to 1080p at 60 frames per second. These Roland video switchers can be used to cut, fade, and apply effects to multiple video sources. These video switchers offer a wide variety of ways to produce your production, including hands-on buttons, a T-bar, and remote control from any tablet, phone, or computer on your network. Today, we will just be covering the hands-on button controls, as we will set up our Roland video mixers with multiple PTZOptics cameras. Each PTZOptics camera will be connected to the video switchers via HDMI or SDI, and also connected to a HuddleCam HD joystick controller for serial joystick control of pan, tilt, and zoom cameras. The first step for setting up this switcher is to plug in the included power supply and power the unit on using the black power button next to the power cable input. Each Roland video switcher has 4 video inputs and 2 outputs. One of these outputs is designed for previewing your video shots, and the other is used to output your video production to a live streaming encoder or large screen display system. In this example, we will take the HDMI program output of the Roland V1HD and connect it to our computer using an HDMI to USB capture card. In this way, we can use the free and open source OBS Studio software to live stream our content to websites such as YouTube or Facebook Live. Note, you can always install the PTZOptics camera control plugin for OBS to control your cameras inside of OBS. Check out our video here to learn more about PTZ camera controls inside of OBS. Note, the Roland V1 SDI model features SDI program and preview outputs, so you may need an SDI to USB capture card to bring these video feeds into a computer or encoder. Now that we have set up our video output, we can also set up our video preview to see a live multi-view screen of all of our cameras. The Roland V1 HD is Roland's HDMI switcher. For this switcher, we will plug in all the HDMI inputs from the cameras. If you are using the Roland V1 SDI, you can connect your cameras via HD SDI and still have extra inputs for HDMI to be used for computers and other HDMI devices. SDI cabling is generally used for long cable runs to remote cameras. The locking SDI connectors ensure a secure connection preferred by most professionals. Luckily, PTZOptics 12x, 20x, and 30x SDI camera models all include both HDMI and SDI. Besides the cable types, these video switchers are relatively the same. You can now begin adding your inputs. Today, we will be using PTZOptics SDI cameras for our camera inputs. The Roland V1 HD features 4 HDMI inputs, and the Roland V1 SDI features 3 SDI inputs and an HDMI input. PTZOptics cameras can now put 16 different camera resolutions and frame rates, which can be set with the yellow resolution dial on the back of the camera. We tested each of the resolutions for compatibility with the V1 SDI and V1 HDMI. Note, if you're using the V1 HD, there's a switch on the back panel to set up the switcher for either 1080p, 1080i, or 720p. Make sure to set this switch to the resolution type that you're going to be using before setup. On the V1 SDI, the switch is on the side panel. Note, the Roland V1 SDI supports both level A and level B SDI inputs. PTZOptics cameras output SDI level A. Therefore, you should navigate to the Roland V1 SDI menu by holding down the menu button for 2 seconds. You can then use the DSK and Auto buttons to navigate through the menu and use the T-bar to switch settings. You may also want to change your frame rate settings in this area as well. After making any setting changes, you will need to restart your switcher. After testing all of the available resolutions and frame rates for PTZOptics cameras and Roland V1 HD and V1 SDI Roland switchers, we have found the following resolutions are compatible. You can reference these charts in our included blog post linked below. As you can see, there are some incompatible resolutions and frame rates. Once all of your inputs are in place, we can use our HuddleCam HD joystick to control and set up our PTZOptics camera shots. PTZOptics cameras can store hundreds of camera presets, which can be recalled with a single button on a joystick controller or inside software like Wirecast, OBS, or vMix. These PTZ presets can be set up to view locations on a stage for performers and then quickly reposition to other locations, providing your team with multiple camera angles from a single joystick. You can then use the various switching functions on the VH1 or V1SDI to switch between cameras and add additional video effects. You will notice 8 square white silicone buttons in the center of this video switcher. These buttons can be thought of as your input matrix. The bottom 4 buttons are used to select the input that you'd like to switch to next, while the top 4 buttons are used for inputs immediately. Therefore, the bottom buttons queue up your preview screen, and the top 4 buttons control the program output. When an input is selected, it will turn green. This means the input is in preview. Red means the input is live. There are many ways to cut between video inputs with these Roland switchers. There's also a built-in T-bar used to fade in between your preview and program inputs. Remember that fade transitions are usually reserved for artistic shots, popular for introductions and endings of a production, but the cut function is generally the workhorse of most live productions. The 2 rectangular silicone buttons on the far right-hand side of the device will likely be your go-to button. You will notice multiple cut transition options next to the T-bar. The rectangular 1-button push, it will immediately cut whenever an input is selected into preview. The T-bar slider can be customized in the Roland settings to optimize your video production. There are also effect knobs and toggle buttons on the left of the input matrix used for adjusting settings. The knobs and buttons to the far left of the Roland video mixer control output fade as well as options like freeze and BPM sync. As you can see, these affordable and portable video mixers are a great way to create powerful video productions on a budget, especially when paired with a couple PTZOptics cameras capable of capturing multiple PTZ positions for your next event. All right, guys, well, that's it. These really rugged, compact, portable video switchers that are super affordable go really well with our PTZOptics cameras. As you know, these cameras are power over Ethernet. They feature SDI and HDMI. So for the most part, they're really good, but we wanted to show you all the compatibility to save you the hassle if you're using a resolution that's not supported with the PTZOptics cameras and Roland video switchers. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we're always doing detailed technology compatibility videos and showing you cool stuff in the live streaming and video production industry. You don't become a video production expert overnight, so we'd like to help you through that journey. So subscribe, join our Facebook user group, and become part of our cool family. Thanks, everybody. Take care.